Hello and welcome to another video. This time I have a replay from one of my random smurf accounts that I was testing stuff on. And it's like a D2, D1, like maybe master, I don't know, whatever. Like let's say Diamond 1 game. And what we have here is a game where bot lane loses tower early, top lane is dying solo, mid lane is like out roamed and everything, and it's just disastrous, so you'll see. And I want to showcase how even when everything goes wrong, you get no kills as well. You just play with assists, you don't get fed early, and so on. There's still a chance you can solo carry your game at some point. So I opened with this ward so that I don't get level 1 invaded, right? On the other side of the map, cheesed or whatever else. Could have opened with another ward as well, but it's just what I chose. And the real unfortunate thing here is I forgot to swap my summoner spells in this account, and we flashed level 1. So this is probably the worst thing that could possibly happen to you at this point. Like, you're playing Evelynn early game against an early game jungler, you have no flash, and you're just a bit depressed. Obviously, I won't make it in time to counter gank bot lane or anything like that. That's why I just chose to start bot side and go top side, because there's no way that I'm going to contest against Jarvan. And if he gets a gank off right now, right? Like if he gets a gank off now and then decides to invade me and I decided to full clear towards bot side, I'm not gonna have a good time. This way at least I get to avoid him. So I saw him bot lane, and that's part of why I decided to go here. I was thinking about taking his wolves also, but the issue with taking his wolves is that then you can't really do anything here. You won't really be able to dive her on a timing or anything. And all that's gonna happen is Jarvan is gonna try to gank mid. So I really wanted to be here, because it's really obvious that these people who level 3 gank bot lane are also gonna level 3 gank mid lane. They do this every time. So just, I don't know, special. So Syndra's like baiting it, and she somehow baits it. I still don't have flash, remember that. So this will be a bit of a harder fight than it should be, even though it should be a complete free fight. And I make sure that I get the kill. And sadly, this guy manages to actually trade a kill, even though I could have had flash, but okay. So we trade kills, she gets a big wave to crash into the enemy, and this is really good for my mid laner, right? That is pretty much the best case scenario for her. And then we just look and we're like, okay, well, Jhin is in base, no reason to go bot lane. That guy was just in base also, no reason to go there. This guy's like pushed up, but I'm not gonna run straight top lane and just cover him as Evelynn. Like, I don't know, maybe if I was playing Elise or something, I would run here and just cover him, but meh. He could just crash as well before she gets there, so he actually does survive, so I don't know. But he walks back up for whatever reason, even though he has TP, and ends up dying. Happens, I guess. But then I go here, try to collect level 6, and the main thing that we can achieve here, because my top laner has CP, so he will TP and just take it away. The main thing I can achieve is just breaking his base. And since I get 6 now, I can actually try again and try to break it again. But sadly I did it a bit too late and didn't get it off. Happens. The mid laner somehow gets ganked, and really unfortunate. He dies, and now we're playing against a 3-1 Katarina. And okay. So I keep farming, trying to keep myself in the game as much as possible. And just waiting to see what happens, right? Getting an early dragon like this when you're playing Evelynn, or well, most of these like scaling champs that are kind of meh early game, right? If your teammates are struggling a bit, like they lost a plate here, she got ganked and she died, she has no flash, this guy's like dying, right? If your teammates are struggling at all, then getting a dragon can be really beneficial to you, as that means that the soul point is going to be very delayed for the enemy team. And that's gonna make the game a lot easier. And then we keep farming. I can mention for a second, the thing that I was testing on this account was I was trying to test the setup of inspiration with treasure hunter, and then I was thinking either futures market plus magical footwear or magical footwear plus cosmic. I was quite interested how that would end up feeling. So they actually end up diving the Jax, but we get a trade kill, but sadly Blitzcrank's Ignite gets it, and he gets the big shutdown. This is a disaster. This is when you want to type FF basically as an assassin, because when your support gets a 700 bounty on Moby Boots Rush Blitzcrank, and you didn't get it, you are just depressed. There's not much else to say there. That is like 1/5 of my item, let's say. It's a bit... It's not exactly 1/5, but it's whatever. So we get our items. Here I opted into going for this buy rather than going for something like Magi, because I think that having Magi would just mean that I would be a complete target for the enemy team, and if they kill me once, the game is instantly over. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Also, I wanted to have damage myself and be able to do stuff. So I look for Jarvan, and sadly the way this interaction works is quite boring, but we got this flash at least. And then here, something unfortunate happens. We avoid the Sona ult and stuff, but then this guy hates hitting Katarina with his spells. And here I wasn't sure if I get over the wall, so yeah, I flash anyway, but I have to flash anyway, because otherwise they would get to me, I think. And okay, disaster again, right? We got nothing, everything goes to our teammates, all we have is just farm. Not much else to do, and that farm doesn't do much for us, as we've discussed in previous videos, because I'm barely a level up, and it's just... yeah, I don't know what to really say about that one. Okay. So now, at this point in the game, we can't really AFK full clear completely, because we need to do something. We're kind of on a clock, and if we don't do something at some point, then it's gonna end up being a position where we literally cannot do anything. So I start looking for a dive here, but you see the Sona shows up, right? And because the Sona shows up, it's better to actually turn on the Sona than to keep chasing this dive, as it could prove to be more problematic than it's worth. And Katarina isn't worth much more than the Sona. She's worth more XP, but since XP is going to be shared between the three of us and we're same level, I'd rather just take the free kill on Sona. But again, disaster. Again, my teammate took it. My Blitzcrank. And we get all the flashes from the enemy. And this is probably a type of game that many of you can relate to. Like, every kill went to your teammates. You got like nothing. Everyone flashes away from you. Because I've gotten 3 flashes in the last, I don't know, 4 minutes or something. So it's really disastrous. My Blitzcrank just goes in, just dies, happens. Complete disaster. You might say we're not that far behind in gold, but it's pretty bad. We lost the tower here, which makes it really bad, as they have a Caitlyn and a Sona, which will kind of outscale my bot lane. And they're getting to have impact earlier on in the game. Again, bad fight, nothing to be done. Monkas. I highly prioritize here getting the enemy jungler's camps, because that will make it so that he is lower level, and I can actually keep up with the level of the solo laners perhaps at some point. And it's also the most consistent thing that I can get on the map. Rather than going for fights, because if I contest fights, which are not winnable, then it's going to end up being a position where I am underleveled and I cannot do anything. And because I don't have pressure and don't take anything, whatever, enemy just takes all of my camps and suddenly it's disaster. So at this point, we're probably behind across the board, which is the case. Everyone except me is behind, I think. Yes, everyone except me is behind by at least 400 gold. And I'm even, which is not really the goal of this game. But the good thing is, at this point, I think the next herald is spawning, right? And what I want to do now is just look for a fight, because look what happened, right? So look, we need to look here, right? So this guy was here, and Sona was half HP. Caitlyn didn't have her mythic, and she probably has it now in base, right? Because it's 14 minutes, so it's really unlikely she doesn't have it, right? Then Katarina shows bot lane, and we're just like, okay. So if Caitlyn's basing, Sona's also basing, Katarina showed bot lane, so she's either bot or in base, then the only one that can be here around this area is like Yorick. And then Yorick also shows up here. So at this point, we basically know that Jarvan is pretty much alone. So if we can somehow find him, that would be amazing. He decides to do whatever this is. Yeah, okay. And he just dies. This is a nice shutdown for Jax. Sadly, again, not for me, because I can have nothing nice in my life. And we get a herald. But this isn't really the game-turning play, it's just a small thing we have. So Jax does somehow kill here, I think, if I remember right. He's crazy with it. So, some good stuff happens here. And I look for a pick also. And Blitzcrank actually hits a hook, which is amazing. And I got my second kill of the game. But yeah. So at this point, I need to keep farming a bit. And I really want to get to my second item. So my idea was, I'm going to try to get to my second item really quickly. And then I should have enough damage to still kill people. Level 11 and second item would be amazing. So okay. As you can see, I need like a bit more gold for double needlessly. That's what I'll go for. My team is kind of off the map, so I just take the luxury of clearing a few more camps. Since I don't really have stuff to do and my ult is still down. My Jax is like fighting a bit. Some interesting stuff happening there. And okay. So at this point, we need to decide if we want to go like Magi Sorks, right? Or double needlessly, or if we want to go like Magi needlessly or whatever. I chose to go double needlessly for the same reasoning as before, where I just want to have upfront damage right now so that I can somehow impact the next few fights. So at this point we have this guy who's winning side kinda, so he's just like gonna perma split. Or well, I don't know if he's winning side at this point, but he's gonna perma split. And then yeah, no one can really do too much. Syndra just TPs here for whatever reason. Or it's just like, okay. So right now, since I got all of my camps off the map and I'm getting my ult up, it's a really good timing to make some kind of a play or fight happen. As long as we aren't outnumbered or whatever else. The really good thing also about taking enemy camps often is that then these people who don't have too much of a clue about the game, well, they kind of start panicking and they're like, ah, he took every camp. What can I do? And then they started like clearing their own jungle and not impacting the game. So it's really disturbing, by the way, that Jarvan can be same level here. It's really disturbing. But sure. So right now it would be really nice to make a pick, but the issue is that I should be really careful in situations like these because people are going to just completely group up mid, and if you get trapped in like some kind of a CC or whatever, or if they use like sums and survive, it's going to be really, really bad for you because objective comes up, nothing happening on side lanes, and it's just easy disaster. So Sona has ult, so I'm not going to go on her at all. I'm going to keep playing slow. No way that I go anywhere. I will just wait for my teammates to do stuff, because if I get impatient, I get Sona ulted, I die, game is over. Even if I get a kill, and then somehow that works out for me, I'll still have to use ult, so it's kinda not really too rewarding of a flip. But the good thing here is that I have Herald, so when they do go for Dragon and they try to set that up, right, I can just Herald and take their mid tower, which would otherwise not really be possible outside of a timing on Dragon or Baron or something when they decide to actually go to the side of the map. My team gets engaged on, and disaster, right? Not much to be done. So what do? I'll keep letting this thing farm, and now I'll look to do something on the other side of the map, right? While they're here, I'm gonna try to either kill Yorick or, I don't know, take camps in the worst case scenario or whatever else. So how can that go for us? Our Jax is sadly 1 HP because, I don't know, he hates living or something. And we have Jhin ult and me, so I just need to commit, do some damage, and then Jhin can ult and it's free. Right? That's really nice, but again, I didn't get a kill. So even though I have 7 KP, I still don't have too much gold, but I do have a bit more than these people, mostly because of farming. So right now I'm just trying to get a bit more gold and see what I can get. Maybe like Roblins and Sorix or something, if possible. But that's really unlikely. Though I do have time to clear my camps as my ult is down and I'm not obligated to use stuff at the moment. Still do keep proper sequencing, where you don't instantly do blue buff for no reason, and try to do other camps first so that you get a bit more out of your camps maybe, and it could make a small difference. I was gonna smite this blue buff if she decided to try to take it, but she didn't, so that was nice. Then at this point, I didn't really get enough for Sorix on top of Dravodons, so I think I went for Dravodons and Amptom. Yeah. And now our ult is coming up again. As you can see, it's pretty nicely timed, as per usual. This is something you really want to get used to, where you try to time your clearing with your ult coming up, and then you want to be on the map when your ult is up, so you don't really waste time. And in that case, you get to actually make a play again. So our Jax is doing some stuff, I guess. Some really interesting stuff. And we look for Caitlyn, but classic. But we do find a free pick on Sona, so that's something. That is really nice. Now we don't want to get baited into thinking that let's go fight Baron or something. And you don't want to get baited here into thinking, okay, well, I need to help my teammates fight, right? Like, we've done something. We killed Sona. So right now, the game is a 4v4, because this guy's dead, right? But the best thing that I can do right now is not kill these people, because these people are, like, kind of hard to kill. They have flashes, they have Jarvan ult, I don't know, just annoying. They're kind of tanky. It's not killing this guy either, because in that case I'm completely letting up all pressure on the map and everything. But the best thing that I can do is somehow find a way to kill Caitlyn, right? And when you think of it this way, you want to not go here, because obviously here there's going to be some kind of vision, like fight, whatever else, but go through lane. And if you go through lane, what ends up happening is that you can cut her off if she tries to go here, and then you can also walk like this, and if she tries to go around like this, you can still cut her off. So either way, you have a way to cut her off. But she decides to go here. So, cool. Another little pick. And now we actually have 4 kills. We have 10 stacks on our Dark Seal, and it's really nice. The game is actually looking kind of winnable now. This guy goes in, but I miss everything. Or well, I miss my Q. And which could just be said as everything. And then we just play like kind of a mage, right? So I'm playing same as Syndra, if you see. Like, I play literally the same, right? Or well, not literally the same, right? But you get the idea. Like, I'm playing in the same headspace as Syndra. Like, okay. Look, same position. We try to use our spells from a distance. Okay, play over. And then we try to, again, be at a distance. Like all 3 of us are trying to be at a distance. And look, we will just both stay here and do this. This is why I often compare Evelynn to stuff like Syndra and Orianna and whatever. Because you can literally see here why I call it playing like a mage. Because we both have the same playstyle. In a way. This is also pretty well showcased by the Chinese Evelynn. Then I do this, and I'm hoping that I kind of bait them to like walk up and try to break my recall, but didn't really happen. So I just chunked this guy instead. So now I have like kind of 2 options. I can try to go here, but this just looks like a disaster. I have no ult. My camps are all up. I'm not gonna get 15 or 16, and I'm just sacrificing so much for this. And he can also just back off like he is right now. So, not a fan. Instead, I chose to just do a few camps, which will actually now give me a level lead on Jarvan. So I'm 2 levels up now, while playing on the losing team, which is pretty funny to see always. Now I'll help her clear this, just to get a bit of extra income, as I'm trying to get as much gold as possible before a base. So now we have like some options here of what to buy, right? We can go Sorks and like either a blasting wand or I think it's blighting gem, or we can go Magi, or we can do some other thing, I don't know, like Banshee components, whatever. But I think the 2 main ways that you would play here are either going for some kind of like Banshee component plus Sorks or Magi or something. Or you would go the way that I did, where you just go full damage, full pen. And the idea here is that I'm going for my 3 item spike, where I have Hextech Rocket Belt, Rabadons, and Void Staff. And that should give me around 500 AP with Dark Seal, right? And on level 16, I can then just go in, ult, and chunk everyone. That was my idea. So if I could do that, it would be amazing. And I can further amplify that by getting Magi later on a further base after Void Staff. So we try to play here though. Like this time, you see, I have some camps up, right? And whatever. But we're not going to go for them now. And we're not going to go for anything here. Because this dragon, I think, is spawning in around 40 or something seconds, right? And if a dragon is spawning in 40 seconds and you're playing an assassin, you really want to get some kind of control over the enemy jungle, because it's a lot more impactful for you to be like here than for you to be in the river or something. Or for you to then look for a flank after they already buy pink wards and they place their fucking pink wards everywhere, and you don't know where you're spotted and where you're not. So this is really huge. That is something. But we got a free pick on Caitlyn. And that's really chill. Though we did lose our ADC, I think. Right, so I don't really want to rely on anyone in my team when I look at this, right? So I'm just trying to play as slow as possible and seeing what I myself can do. So right now, I'm looking for when these two like show up in a way. So if I can pick one of them, it would be really nice. Then okay, no, okay, cool. So then I put charm on Jarvan and I see what happens, right? Like, do they show up from here? Do they show up from here? Because I'm pretty sure that when I put charm on him, that they're going to group up just to deny me one-shotting someone, right? But I'm pretty sure Sona has ult also, so yeah. Pretty bad play, don't get baited, and back off. I think Syndra's also dead, but she did get Zanya from Cat somehow. I don't know, just happens, I guess. So that ends up happening. Here I had to react to the Sona ult because I wasn't sure if she had it or not, because obviously you can't look at every fight all the time. So at some points you have to look at your own champ, right? So she could have used it one of those points. But I thought maybe she has it. So here, if she doesn't use it, then you can still keep walking away and it's fine. But if she uses it, you have to instantly react and ult. If you're not confident in reacting though, then just ult anyway and it's fine. So yeah. Okay, we used our ult and our teammates are dead, so no real point in trying to contest this. So all I'm really looking for is to use the plant and stuff and to make sure the enemy doesn't just come and kill me here. So we're level 15 now, and that's kind of getting close to the goal that we set out, where we want to play for this, right? Our ult empower damage going up to 900, our cooldown going down to 70, and then it's further amplified by AP, right? And we should get like a 2000 damage ult. So this guy is doing something again. And don't get baited. Chill. I think I have gold now for Void Staff, I do. And I'm just following the plan I outlined, right? Oh, I decided for Magi actually before Void Staff because I didn't buy MR yet, I think. Right, that was the case. And I think that I can get some stacks and I can even amplify that plan. So I just flopped around the order. The original plan was getting Void Staff before Magi, but I got 0 MR, so Magi before Void Staff. That's fine. So right now our plan, if you follow it, level 16, right? And this is why I emphasize plans so much and say they're so important, because it makes the game so much more clear, right? I want level 16 and I want Void Staff. So what should I do? The stuff that gives me resources. So get some camps down, look for picks, and so on. Obviously at this point, Sona could insta-ult me. She could. She could also stopwatch. Though if she stopwatches, that's not really an issue. But if she did insta-ult me somehow, it would be an issue. But I went for this because I have Blitzcrank speed up. And when having something like 550 move speed on Evelynn, it is quite unlikely for the enemy to react in time. And also I can just ult her. But yeah. I also didn't think that if Sona did ult me, that I would insta-die. Because my Blitzcrank still has flash, my Blitzcrank has a speed up, and he can CC Caitlyn if she tries to do like her W and net and stuff combo, right? Like he can walk in front of me and block. So this was like okay enough. I was like willing enough to take this play. Though you can also say that you don't like it, and that's fine. So my top laner is now fighting, so I want to take care of that, because otherwise, even if I make some kind of a play here, or if I pick more people off, if I take these camps, whatever, I have to answer this, because if I don't answer this right now, this stuff will fall, and then this guy will have infinite pressure. Literally infinite. For some reason, my Blitzcrank decides that walking on top of Evelynn it's funny, even though I'm Invis and he's not. So I get to ult, which is quite enjoyable. But yeah, this one camp should give me 16, which is why I go for it. And We're not gonna get Void Staff yet, sadly, from this camp, but we will get 16, which is amazing. Okay, so we got 16. I think we got it from these minions, actually, that were here. Yeah. He almost gets her, but not quite. And now there's a danger of Baron being taken by the enemy team. But we do have a 4v4 because we killed enemy top laners, so at least something. And that's like the same plan as before, right? Where I want to make some kind of a pick and I want to keep trying to do something, right? So I just look and I see, okay, her, cool. But this doesn't mean that, oh, well, don't do the classic Evelynn thing where you walk down mid lane, first person you see, you combo them and you move on. Like if I combo her now, who fucking knows what happens, man? I could have a Jarvan appear from here. I could have like a Sona, I don't know, flash ult me or something. Who fucking knows? Legit, who knows? So let's give her more time and then let's combo her, right? Now she came closer and now it's a lot less scary because now I can't get Jarvan ulted from this direction, like EQ ult or something, you know? And I don't even have ult, so I just want to combo her and chunk her because I think I will kill her if she full commits. But yeah. That was the idea anyway. She actually did more damage than I expected. I think it's because she goes electrocute and ignite. And like full AP, so. And she had no magic, so I don't know. A bit disgusting, but fuck it. As they say. Fuck it, we ball, right? Okay. So now I think we got Void Staff. We did. And we have ult, so we're going to try to use Void Staff and ult. This is the thing that I talked about, right? We have these 5 items, and this is basically the best position we can possibly be in, except for having Banshee, right? Having Banshee would be a luxury and would be really nice, but can't afford it, right? This is the thing that sucks. When your teammates are all like kind of behind, I think they're all behind, like this guy's 3k gold down, 1k gold down. Okay, this guy's actually up gold, but in the grand scheme of things inside of the game, he's not really up. Like these two are still way ahead of him, and this guy's down quite a bit as well. In these scenarios, you're not really allowed to spend your whole lead on Banshee. Like if I bought Banshee here, right? Like all of this lead that I have over Jarvan is basically in that one item. And I'll tell you straight up, in a game like this, Banshee is not worth 2.6k. It's worth maybe like 1k, in my opinion. So I basically lost half my lead if I buy it. So yeah, now I want to look for a fight, but right, keep in mind, we don't have Banshee, right? So I either look for picks or I have to play the fight kind of smart. So Jarvan gets hooked, and okay, we can put W on him. That's good enough, but he will obviously EQ out. But then now we want to appear in front of Sona, right? She's playing kind of frontline, and she's obviously just trying to ult us. So we want to appear, right? She sees me, and now we want to back off. Because if we do it like this, then we can bait out her ult. And the moment when her ult is gone, now we can look for a secondary flank. We got what we needed. Now the game is really playable. No CC from her, and the rest of the enemy team doesn't have like complete instant CC that just messes us up. So now, what happens here? This is the plan, right? Like, look how much damage this ult did. So, the Caitlyn is almost full. Alright, maybe she gets hit by this Jhin W, but these guys are full, this guy's like pretty high. Like all of them get like half HP pretty much, and one of them dies. So when this happens, it's a sign for my team to just go. They can just go. Zero care in the world. Though, my team did go, which is really good by them. And now 3 people are dead, so now you have to make an important choice, right? You have a wave coming. This is why pushing out waves is really important. So Do we go Baron? This is a free Baron. I mean, it's free. It is free. And if we go Baron, then maybe we can like push here and whatever else. But we have 5 people. Do we wait for dragons? We deny. Too long, right? I mean, we could get Baron and Dragon. Pretty cool. Would increase our odds of winning, but it's safer to just try to end. And that's why it's really important to look for a better play and not just a good play as you keep climbing. Because this is a good play, but this is just a better play. Because there's no way that these two can defend against us. Especially not when Blitzcrank hooks this guy, then it's just over. Now we have 30 seconds, and we can just end the game. So we had a simple plan that we wanted, right? Some kind of a full AP, do a lot of damage plan. And we followed it. We executed. We didn't like stray too far from the plan, and we won. They even went triple Hex Drinker. If they didn't go triple Hex Drinker in this fight, like imagine the damage we would have done. It would have been insane. But with this, we managed to win anyway. And yeah, it's pretty good. But just to put this into perspective, even before this fight, right? Like right before this fight, we're down 2k gold anyway, and dragons. So yeah. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.